Welcome back to another episode of the Real Table Podcast, and it's been over a month since the last episode of the Real Table Podcast, and it's crazy. I started actually questioning, like, am I going to have time for this? Am I going to be able to get back to it? And you know, life has just been busy with work. I'm getting married in October, so planning a wedding, a little bit here and there, traveling. Like, there's just so much happening, and I'm like, am I going to make time for this? But then I was like, I have to. There's so much good content, so many good movies, shows. I was like, I got to keep this platform. Even if I can't do it consistently every week, I feel like finding some kind of rhythm where I can continue to make content, even amidst the crazy life, would be amazing. And I was like, there's no better time to come back than this week, because this movie this weekend is going to be unreal. It's projected to do crazy numbers already. I think upwards of 300 mil. I could be wrong. I think that's around what it's going to do. But I'm excited to talk about it. You already know what it is, Deadpool and Wolverine. But before we get to Deadpool and Wolverine, we're going to talk about the first two movies as well, Deadpool and Deadpool 2. I just got done watching Deadpool 2, and I watched Deadpool 1 earlier today. So we're going to talk about those two as well. But before we get to that, I have a special guest today. He agreed to come back. Not even come back. This is his first time on here. This is the first time I've asked him. Out of most of the people that I know, he is a big movie guy, and I don't know why it's taking this long, but it has. But I'm glad that today is the day that he's on here. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Dario. What's
Michael
up, bro?
Carter. Thank you for inviting me to the Real Table.
Bro,
this is fun.
It's an honor. I texted you. I was like, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this.
Yes.
So tell our listeners about yourself. Like, who are you? Who's Brian?
Yeah, man. Brian Dario is the online pastor at Cedar Creek Church in Northwest Ohio. So I've been doing that for a couple years. So I am used to being in front of a camera, telling people that I'm thankful they're here watching and worshiping with you. Let's check out the message. So yeah, that's my jam. That's what I do. And I get to work with cool folks like you and others. So
yeah,
that's
always
fun.
love working with you, bro. Always.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And you're also married, right? Yeah.
I am married. Actually, next week we'll be 20 years married, man.
Wow.
20! I know, it's crazy.
Dude, that's sweet.
So, got that going on. I got two kids, Maya, who's 12, and Asher, who's 9, who also love movies. I was showing them some of your podcasts from the Marvel movies, because they love the Marvel movies. Yeah.
Raising them right. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's us.
So, yeah, and you're right. I love movies. My kids love movies, and yeah. Loving life.
Awesome, bro. What are some of your favorite movies?
I have a top 10 list. I'm one of those guys where I rank my favorite movies, but I'm old, right? 20 years married here. So number one, we can't start with number one. We're going to start with number 5 here. Okay. I love the Dark Knight movies.
Yes.
Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. Phenomenal.
Beautiful trilogy.
Yes. Beautiful. Right? I love Man on Fire. Denzel.
Ooh.
You seen it?
Yeah, with Dakota Fanning.
Yes. Man on Fire. Phenomenal. Warrior. The movie Warrior came out in 2010, maybe?
Yes. Is that with Tom Hardy?
You know it is. Yep. Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton. That's number 3. Braveheart, number 2. And then
you love you some Braveheart.
I do. And then Gladiator. Gladiator's number 1. Which,
Speaking of Gladiator, I'm gonna be honest. I think I've only seen bits and pieces of it. How does that make you feel?
That's disappointing. That's disappointing. You're gonna have to watch it before the sequel comes out. You know that,
obviously. Yeah, I have to. But how do you feel about that trailer?
Conflicted, because it is my favorite movie of all time. It doesn't deserve a sequel.
Right.
I love Denzel though.
Yeah,
I love
that's
Pedro
what I'm
Pascal.
saying.
So like
Yes.
it's got an all-star cast, but I'm nervous because like don't mess. As great as it was,
Right.
but it could be good. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
Yeah. And Ridley Scott, he directed the first one.
He did.
Recently,
yes.
I feel like in maybe the recent past decade, I feel like he's a hit or miss.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Yes.
So it's like it's one of those things where I'm like, is this going to be good Ridley or this is going to be messy?
Yeah. Well, because I think didn't he do Exodus? Remember that movie with Christian Bale and Joel Edgerton?
Gosh, he did do that, which I never watched.
Or it was Noah with Russell Crowe. I watched both of them thinking they were going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, I digress. Gladiator.
I think in either way, we're going to get Denzel being Denzel. I feel like Denzel never has a bad moment. He's always on.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
He's always on.
Yeah. He's so good. What were the John Wick like movies like? Equalizer. Have you seen any of those ones?
Yeah, I saw the first two. I haven't seen the third.
It's so good.
Did you see the third?
I did. Okay. I did. It's good. Okay. I prefer them over the John Wick, but that's not why we're here. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there.
Okay. Give me a little tidbit. Why?
Oh my gosh. Well, one, Denzel.
Yeah.
He's just a bad A. Like, Keanu's different.
Yeah.
It has that Man on Fire feel to it, which is probably why I prefer it over the John Wick series.
Yeah.
But he's methodical in what he does.
He is.
Which is what I love it. Yeah.
Yep. All right. All right. Okay. All right.
Oh, I got my Braveheart here. You keep going. I got to get my little Funko Pop Braveheart for this since we're talking about it here.
See, this is why I have to have you on here, man. This is why you get it.
There it is. You have a Funko Pop. Heck yeah, I do. All right, keep going. Sorry.
No, you're good.
There you
go. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Deadpool.
Yes.
I watched the first one earlier today. I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen either of. I've probably seen the first one multiple times, but not the second. So I watched both of them today, back to back. What are your thoughts? When did you watch the first one recently?
I watched it yesterday, and I watched Deadpool 2 today. So I had to refresh myself.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's good. That's good. You have a refresher. What are your thoughts? It's been since 2016.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts now since 2016 on Deadpool?
Yep. Gosh, I think just my love affair for Ryan Reynolds has grown since Deadpool came out in 2016. That is just, it gets better and better when I watch it. I think this is probably the third time I watched Deadpool. So I watched it when it came out, and then a second time, and then yesterday.
Yeah.
He's just so freaking hilarious.
Dude.
He brings Deadpool to life with his comedic timing, and it's just so good.
It's beautiful.
So good.
The first one I was like, yeah, this is what I remember. This is real solid. The Hugh Jackman jokes and the pokes, and I'm like, that's so poetic. Especially now, I'm like, years later, I'm like, we're in 2024. We're about to get what we've been waiting for, and I'm like, this is so good. And the story is actually solid too. The story is solid too.
I was going to go back to, and also if you've been following all the Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman social media, like them going back and forth just adds to the anticipation of this. It's all so good.
This movie's about to make bank.
I can't imagine that it won't.
It's going to make bank.
Yeah, the storyline was good too. I mean, if we have to go back to talk about just Deadpool without Wolverine, it was great. I love it. I think I was when I finished watching it, I was thinking through Ajax, right? The name of the villain.
Yes.
I think that was the only part where it's like, it's not a villain that really sticks with you. It really, the whole thing's just about Deadpool, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he felt more like, obviously he sucked, and you're like, this guy's the worst.
Right.
But he wasn't memorable because I honestly didn't remember. I remember the face. But when I started watching, I was like, I don't remember who he is. And then it's like, Ajax. I was like, right. So
And
he
the only
wasn't
reason
that.
I remembered he was a bad guy is because I've been recently watching Game of Thrones, where he
Ah,
played
there you go.
whatever his name was, the assassin in Game of
Yes, he
Thrones season
does.
4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Deadpool is super solid. I remember back when it first came out. Actually, before it first came out, like people have been wanting wanting a Deadpool movie.
okay,
And then I think there was some test footage that I think what did it leak? It might have leaked, and I think it was with Ryan as voice, maybe.
oh,
And it was so well received
okay,
that people are like, "Bro, we need a movie." I
crazy,
remember it was
okay,
test footage, and it went viral. People are like, "We need this movie. We need this movie." And that first half, the car sequence, if I'm not
yes.
mistaken, it's inspired by that test footage. Because
Oh,
the
I didn't
test
know
footage,
that.
yeah, the test footage, if I'm not mistaken, it's that car sequence. I don't think
Okay,
it's it to a T, but it's definitely inspired by it. It's definitely inspired
that's
by it.
interesting. Yeah, see, I
Yeah.
was not like in the superhero Marvel world even in 2016. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, Avengers, Thor, sure. And I only wanted to watch Deadpool because it had Ryan Reynolds in it. So I didn't
Right.
get like into it until probably after that 2017. So I really started to watch the MCU, and this just felt like this is not part of the MCU
This
at
is
all.
different, dude.
It was so good. Yes.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid product overall. I thought it was definitely a departure from any other superhero movie. Now, when you think about Deadpool, and you think about like Ryan Reynolds, how he's portrayed the character, when you take that and you are comparing it to the list of other like notable roles, like I'm talking like the Robert Downey Jr.'s as Iron Man,
Okay.
or some people may even put Christian Bale up in there as Batman, Christopher Reeves as Superman,
Interesting. Yeah.
arguably Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yep.
Do you think Deadpool, is he up there in that hierarchy of or Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, is he up there in that hierarchy as the superheroes that are portrayed in movies like super well?
Yeah, I mean, what other rendition of Deadpool do we have other than Ryan Reynolds himself in the X-Men Origins? Which, if we had talked about that and you asked it was horrible, and I'm glad that they make fun of it later, right?
Oof, yes.
But I feel like this is like, yes, I would say yes, and this is just so separate. It's like, you can't think of Deadpool without Ryan Reynolds. He brings the character to life, Merc with a mouth, and it's perfect. He did it perfect, in my opinion.
Yep.
So yes, I have to say yes, I guess. Yeah.
I agree.
Is that what you think? Okay.
Yeah, he's like, when you think about, what are the actors that played superheroes really well, or what are those iconic, well acted superhero performances? It's Deadpool's up there easily.
100%. Yeah.
Now Deadpool 2 gets bigger. They get bigger with the story. They get bigger with the characters. They get a little bit deeper into that X-Men lore. I remember like I don't think I loved Deadpool 2 as much as I loved the first one.
Yes.
But after coming out of watching this one, I'm like, this might be a little bit better than the first one.
Okay.
It might.
Okay.
It might. What are your initial thoughts after rewatching it?
I mean, definitely, like, he pokes fun at all of that in the first and the second one. You know, when he goes to the mansion, the X-Men mansion, right? The manor, right? You can only afford 2 X-Men. What, is it the studio?
Did you see that? The first class.
Yes, I was like, okay, so they are making it a little bit bigger, a little bit better. It was great, and so I feel like they were trying to not one up the first one,
right,
or outdo it. It was almost like, let's keep up par with it, but maybe add a little more. They had more cameos this time.
Yeah.
So I liked all of the Easter eggs, if you will. It was fun in that regard of like just looking for all the stuff, listening for the comments that he would make.
Right.
Made it, in my opinion. Gosh, I don't know. That's tough, Michael.
It is tough. It's tough.
It is so good.
Because if you've asked me before yesterday, I would be like, Deadpool 1 is better than Deadpool 2.
Yes.
Like by a mile. But then I watched the 2 and I'm like, it's pretty good.
Yes. And you got Thanos himself without being Thanos,
Yes.
back in it with Josh Brolin, which is he's just so good. He's such a
Dude,
good bad
he's
guy.
good.
Good actor in general. So I loved all the little Easter eggs and it made it just as enjoyable, if not more, than the first one. I think for me.
I also love, like, if people haven't seen Deadpool 2, Deadpool is, he's this wacky character, more of a butthole, but he has this. It's interesting. They make him have like this. I want to say a redemptive arc, but he has this really emotional story. Like the whole thing from losing like the love of his life, and it's like it's weird. Like he has this moment where it's like he's trying to save this kid that Cable's trying to kill, and I'm like, oh wow, this is good.
Yeah. There's a little bit more meat to it, a little more heart, a little more emotion to it.
Yeah.
Which draws me. I mean, that's why I love all of these, those top 5 movies. It's like in each one of them, the love of their life dies or is taken or whatever. Right. And there's that vengeance, that's the revenge factor that I just adore. As a pastor of a church, yes, naturally, I love that part of the movies.
Right.
Don't tell my boss what I do.
I also love I love the action scenes too. The action scenes in this one. First one, they were just as good.
Okay.
The second one, again, you gotta add a little bit more pop to it. Like we gotta push it up just a little bit. And
they did.
It's poppy. It's
such
all over
graphic
the place.
Violence. It's so gross, and I love it because it's so like. It's not like your typical horror movie where it's like, oh, that's just disgusting. It's like, yes, this is graphic and gross, but it's clearly. It's so fake, and it's so good.
My fiance Lynn, she was watching. She watched part of she came in at the end of the first one, and she was watching it, and then we started watching the second one, and she was like dozing in and out of it, but she was like, "This is actually not bad." I'm like, it's kind of funny, Is it stupid? Sure, but it's fun.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Funny. Exactly, it's Ryan Reynolds.
That's what you expect.
Exactly. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. And I think in this one, with the action sequences, you got Juggernaut.
Dude, I forgot all about Juggernaut.
Right?
Yes.
And you got, what is the kid's name? Flame Fist, Fire Fist, something like that, right? I think it's, I don't know what name they give it, but you've got more going on than just Ajax.
Right.
From the first one. Now you've got a comic book, like everyone knows Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So it made it a little more exciting, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you deep into the X-Men lore? Not deep, but do you know a little bit about it?
I don't. Was it you? Someone was telling me I should watch the X-Men. It was like the cartoon that just came out in Disney
97.
Plus. 97. I haven't. So I can't go. I can't say I'm too deep into it.
What do you got for me?
What do you got for me? You gotta watch it.
I'm fascinated with the Cable character. I want more.
Okay. See, I don't know too much about the character.
Yeah, so Cable, he's the son of Cyclops and Jean.
Wow.
So he's from the future.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, he is from the future. No,
he's from the future. Yeah, he is. Isn't that wild?
Okay.
His name is Nathan Summers.
What? Scott's son?
Yeah.
Scott Summers' son. Oh my goodness. Yep. Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay. I would have never guessed.
I heard, and this could obviously be different because you never know, but I heard that I don't think Cable's going to be in the new one. I heard he's not going to be in it.
Okay. I was wondering with how it ended.
Exactly. It ended with him staying.
Right.
But I'm just, I don't know. I'm fascinated by that character. And that's why I'm mostly really, really excited for when the X-Men come, because I'm like, the stories from X-Men are really, really good, dude.
Yes.
I feel like the old movies didn't, they were good. They just didn't scratch the surface.
No.
On what they can really tell. That's what I learned from 97. I'm like, X-Men 97, I'm like, oh, dude, there's a lot here. And there's a lot of characters, too, that I felt like were very underserved in that show. They're very underwhelming. not in the show, in the movie, but when you see him in the show, you're like, oh, I forgot about that character, or like, oh, I don't know enough about that character because it wasn't in the movies, because they were in the movies.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I grew up with X-Men, X-Men 2, or X2, and then X3. Like, I watched those, and then when the new class showed up, I was like, okay, but it's not going to compete with these three.
Right.
So, I mean, I watched them all, but I didn't pay as close attention as I did to those first three.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, that was before, I think, that was before really MCU really got kicked off.
That was way before the MCU really got underway. Yeah. But,
okay, I might check it out. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm telling you, dude.
X-Men
97.
all right. Well,
and I don't say that. Like, don't get me wrong. Cartoons are good. Animated shows are good. But I'm like, man, when you get the really good ones that like, hey, this is not just for kids. We're gonna give you some meat in this story to actually care.
See, the first time I felt that was, I think I was in theaters. What was I seeing? I think it was Venom, maybe. And they showed this like end credit scene for Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm like, what? I'm not interested in this as a cartoon. But then my kids made me watch it. And it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
So,
and then across the Spider-Verse?
We went, saw it opening day in theaters. Yep. That was nuts too. So, and I saw you have a real table on Across the Spider-Verse. I know. You love it. You do. You do.
That's my movie.
So, X-Men 97, it probably is good then. If there's... Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'll check it out.
All right. Looking ahead, this weekend, I'm going Thursday.
I hate you.
Like at night, like late.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going Thursday, and I'm really excited. Do you know when you're going yet?
No, I don't, because my wife, who I love more than everything in the whole world, planned a camping trip this weekend. We're leaving Thursday morning.
Well, actually, that's kind of perfect, because that means you can turn off your phone and avoid all socials.
I'm going to. I cannot know. Even right now, when I was just Googling, there's reviews already out for the people who watch it. I can't. Come on, get out of here.
I'm on Twitter, and I muted every little word that has to do with Deadpool, Wolverine, and Marvel.
No, don't want to hear it. La, 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 la.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Okay, what are you excited most about this movie?
So here's the thing. You ready? Here we go. I love Hugh Jackman. I have a man crush on Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Greatest Showman? Yes. And Ryan Reynolds, and I love Wolverine. Logan, so good. So good. So, and all the social media stuff between Ryan and Hugh and the Aviation Gin and then the coffee company that he, like, all of it. It's coming together in one movie. Those two, that's my biggest excitement, is to see those two, just the chemistry between them.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, what is the tie-in to MCU? We see in the I didn't look at all the trailers even, because I don't even want to see all these new scenes I haven't seen. But like, is that an Ant-Man situation over there? Is that a Doctor Strange thing over here? Like, okay, are we bringing this together finally? What's happening? So I'm anticipating what the connection is. To the MCU. What about you?
Yeah, I think Hugh Jackman, I was talking to my roommate about this, I think last night. The biggest draw for this movie, I love Ryan Reynolds and I love Deadpool, is not Ryan Reynolds, it's not Deadpool. It is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Yes! It is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the yellow suit, which, if he does not wear that mask in this movie, I will be so mad. All right, that's what I want. That's all we want. I don't care if it looks silly. I don't care if it looks goofy. I want it.
That's what we grew up on.
The kid in me wants it. Yep, that's what I grew up on. He was my favorite X-Men from the jump. I've always wanted to be him. When I was playing outside, we're playing X-Men characters.
Oh my gosh.
Who am I? I'm Wolverine.
Boom.
In the yellow suit.
In the yellow suit. Oh my gosh. I think one Halloween I went with a tank top, jeans, and I think I take knives. And I had hair then. So I didn't go yellow, but I went with the cage fighter Wolverine. Yes. You love it. You love Hugh Jackman.
I love Hugh Jackman. I love Wolverine. So like, that's the draw for this movie. That's also why I'm really, really excited for this movie. Just to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, but also him with Ryan, him and Deadpool. Again, the first two movies have been teasing and poking fun, and it's like, hey, eventually we want to do this. Disney gets the rights finally, and it's like, oh boy, and they make
Mhm.
it happen. It's like, this is what we've been waiting for. That's
100%.
what I'm looking for. Not even all the cameos, and they're probably gonna be some sweet
Okay.
cameos, but
Yes. Yes.
those two going head to head, come on, neck and
Yes.
neck. I'm all
Yes.
about it. I'm all
I
about
haven't
it.
even looked because I'm even thinking like, wait a minute, but he did die, right? He did die in Logan, right? I think. I don't
Right.
know. Spoiler alert, by the way. Yeah.
Which that's what Lynn was saying. She was like, he die in Logan, right? And I was like, he did, which makes me ask the question, is this a
Yeah.
Wolverine from another?
Yes, the timeline, the time variances, all that
It
stuff.
could. It really could be. He could be
Oh my
from
gosh. Could you imagine?
a different. I would
Okay.
love it. I'd eat it up.
Eat it up.
I'd eat it up.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I'm also really intrigued. Because this whole like Marvel's in a, I don't know if you've been keeping up. Marvel's in a weird space right now.
Okay.
So this,
Tell
I
me
think
more.
this, well, the last few projects, not even few, it's been for a while.
Yeah.
A lot of projects haven't really hit home and haven't done well. They've lost
Yes.
traction since
Following.
Endgame. Yes.
Yes.
So like Shang-Chi, the Spider-Man movies, and
Yep.
Black Panther, the Wakanda
Wakanda.
Forever #2,
Yep.
and probably Guardians 3 are the only projects I felt like have really hit.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe
Okay.
some of
Okay.
WandaVision too, but I feel
Okay.
like
Yep.
everything else has really
Interesting.
fell low of expectations.
Okay.
So this movie, I think this movie is going to provide the win that they need right now, because this
Okay.
is the only Marvel movie we're getting this year. Because they've
Ooh, okay.
decided, because they've decided to push everything back to make space to make sure that the product is
Yep.
good.
Yep. And I
so
knew there were
this-
some other things that were kind of
like
legal
the
issues
Jonathan
and
Major
whatnot.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
this is the win that they need right now.
Okay.
And I think this movie's gonna do it. I think it is. I'm also
giddy.
wondering now, because there are rumors that the Kang storyline is not going to be what it is anymore. It's going to be like Kang's going to take a backseat, maybe.
Okay.
And so it's like, okay, does this movie give us more story that helps us move? Because people have been asking, they're like, what are we doing? Where are we going? We got a little bit of that in Ant-Man Quantumania, and even then, now it's like, okay, well, Kang might not have a prevalent role anymore. Okay, so what are we doing going forward? I'm hoping this story gives us a little bit something. It doesn't have to specifically play into like, this is MCU, this is like all that stuff. It doesn't have to play into that. But the sheer fact that we're like getting this Deadpool in the MCU, the Wolverine in the MCU, it's like, ooh, it'd be cool to expand upon that story and how it works in the universe.
Yes. I was even, for a selfish reason too, I was thinking like, if they were to pull Deadpool specifically into the MCU, it's like, do I want to see that though? Like, because I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. But to see him he's got to share screen time now. Like, no, I want to see more Paul Rudd. I want to see more Ryan Reynolds. I don't want to see all these other guys. I want to see Ryan Reynolds. So like, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm going in blind. I think I've seen the first 2 trailers. So there was a teaser, and then there was one big trailer that they released, and I've stopped after that because I'm like, I really want to be blind going in.
Because there's a lot. There's releasing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, I want zero context. I mean, I kind of understand that they're getting pulled. That's not a spoiler. It's like, it's there. It's like, okay, this is happening, but why? What are the underlinings to it? So, dude,
I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you get to go on opening day.
I am so ready. You should just, when do you come back from the camp trip?
Saturday night.
Sunday.
Sorry, boss. I'm sick. I can't go serve the Lord. I gotta stay home.
Lord gets it. He understands.
The Lord gets it.
Like, this is a moment in history. He gets it. He understands.
Or maybe after church. Maybe I'll do that after church.
Or that after church kick.
Oh my gosh, that's usually my time. But I have to. I'm so excited. I cannot wait till next week though. Like, I can't go a whole week without watching.
No way. That's crazy energy.
Okay,
that's crazy energy.
Maybe
unless you're not a
your
big
second.
Fan.
No, big fan. Maybe your second time around we do like an extended lunch break or something next week. Okay, think about it.
I'll process that.
Okay.
After I let the movie sit.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta go. And my guys see this again.
Oh
I
gosh,
probably
okay.
will for the sheer fact of Hugh Jackman's in the yellow suit.
So good,
That's it.
so good, so good.
I'm
This is the
ready.
greatest show. Can't wait.
Yes,
I can't wait.
dude. They have to sing that.
Maybe they will. Maybe Ryan Reynolds will give a little. Because what he did a second one, right? I don't mean to keep this going, but do you want to build a snowman and Papa,
Yes.
can you hear me? It's great. It's great. Anyway, I digress.
I'm pumped. I'm ready. You ready? It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so
Any last words, Brian? Any last words about Deadpool, Deadpool Wolverine, Marvel, anything? Any last words?
Gosh, man. Well, every man dies. Not every man really lives. Those were some of the last words that William Wallace, the Braveheart, said. And so I hope that we can remember that when we go to see this, that we find our life, that we live. I don't know. I can't wait. I'm excited that you had me on here. This is fun.
I can't wait for people to see the video, to see that.
So ridiculous.
Just holding up the Funko Pop.
Every man dies.
Yeah.
So,
isn't that Sons of Scotland?
Yes. Sons of Scotland. Don't tell me you haven't seen Braveheart. Who are you?
My roommate quotes it all the time. That's the only reason I know Sons of Scotland.
I know the whole thing by memory. I do it all the time. Ask me tomorrow at work. I'll do it. I'll give you the whole speech. I have it memorized.
Deal.
Okay. I can't believe you.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me on this welcome back episode, talking about Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool Wolverine, which is out this weekend, folks. This weekend. Even if you don't love Marvel, even if you don't love superheroes, just go for the sheer fact that it's Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, and even Ryan Reynolds. It's going to be funny. I was told by a critic friend that I've met on Twitter. She saw it, I think, yesterday, and I DM'd her and I said, hey, what is it? Like, how is it? And she said it was funnier than Thor Ragnarok.
Wow, that's the funniest MCU movie. That one's a good one, too.
Thor Ragnarok's pretty funny. So she said it's funnier than Thor Ragnarok. And I said,
okay.
All right. And then she said, make sure you see it soon because spoilers are going to be
lying. I know.
That's why you got to turn off that phone and you'll be good.
Okay.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me on the Real Table podcast. It was a pleasure having you, man. We're going to have you back. You have to be fun. Back. Yes.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Love
bro.
it. Thanks, man.
Everybody else, thank you so much for listening and joining in and tuning in, and I will see you soon. Peace. Once again, thank y'all so much for joining me today on the Real Table podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and even comment. I want to hear your thoughts and I want to hear your opinions. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Real Table Pod and on Twitter at The Real Table. And don't forget to also check me out on therealtable.com for news, articles, and reviews. I will see y'all soon. Peace.